Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect 3 on the Mysterious JG. And, as you can probably guess, this video and the last are part of one seamless play session because Shepard is still staring at Grunt. But a fun little factoid you might like to know is that I took a break between videos to, get myself a drink. The euphemism I usually use at work is to, quote, walk down the hall. It means I took a tinkle. So, it's about 10 minutes of just kind of going around, putting around the apartment before I came and sat back down to record again, and I didn't pause. So, even though you didn't get to experience it all, and you probably didn't need to know that I used the bathroom, I did think you'd want to know that Grunt and Shepard have been staring at each other in silence for 10 minutes.
What did you do after the collectors were defeated?
I spent most of my time back on Tuchanka learning what it was to be Krogan.
It's kind of boring.
The lab where I was created, the lessons were like fighting with practice weapons. They had no bite, no impact.
Now there's total non-stop action impact.
I made mistakes, but I learned.
That's nice.
Tell me more about this company.
What do you know about all that company?
Eye of Wrath. We are named after the fierce Tuchanka sun. Rex handpicked us from different clans to show a united Krogan. We were sent because we're the strongest.
Which is why it's appropriate that everyone in the company other than me is completely anonymous and won't get any dialogue.
Did Warlord Okeer imprint anything on you about the Rachni during your creation?
Okeer ensured I knew of the Rachni. They are respected as an enemy. Everyone thought they were dead, defeated by the Krogan. You proved that wrong. If they're here, my blood demands they die.
Yeah, you don't really see eye to eye with Paragon Shepard on the Rachni. Fun fact, folks, even in my Renegade run, off-camera of course, because I've only got the one LP series for Mass Effect, and it's with Paragon. But even when I did my Renegade run-through of the game, I still spared the Rachni. Because, genocide and all that. You can read up on what happens with the Rachni if you kill the last of the Rachni, but this mission, where you're fighting Rachni, still happens. Because it's... I don't know. They have a tendency to find kind of weak-ass workarounds so that the same major plot threads remain in effect, regardless of your decisions in the previous games. I mean, it would be impossible to program the third game in the series if everything really depended on your previous decisions. In this case, it's only a side mission, but still, it's a fairly lengthy mission. So they made sure that no matter, even if you wipe out the Rachni in the first game, they end up being around in the third game. Now, what the hell? Save you the trouble. And although I haven't played through it myself, I read about it in the wiki. If you wipe out the Rachni Queen in the first game, the Rachni you encounter here are clones made by the Reapers. The Reapers, engineer the Rachni to attack you, based on their memory of what the Rachni were. So I guess we'll get into it a little bit more, what the difference is. But I probably shouldn't be talking about it, because it starts to feed into what we're about to play, which I haven't revealed too much about yet. But I guess the long story short, the Rachni are still around, even if you kill the Rachni in the first game. And I guess maybe I'll get into it later when it's not as spoilery to talk about. Because I'm not spoiling in a sense because we didn't choose that path, so I'm spoiling a thread that didn't occur. But in order to really talk about it in a meaningful way, I'd have to compare what happens when you do spare the Rachni Queen. And that's what we're going to find out as we play. So I'm going to shut up and get on with it.
What happened to the scouting party?
Looks like something dropped half their camp down a hole. Their shuttle must have been lost as well. They weren't going anywhere. Doesn't matter. We're here to find the Rachni and burn them out.
Okay, so you're not the scouting party. Oh, well.
All right, let's get going.
Finally. Right behind you, Shepard.
Finally. Feels like I've been staring at you for 10 minutes before we even started talking. So you're right behind us? Are you coming? I'd hate for us to just come in here and fall down. See, look at that. With that extended barrel, the freaking sniper rifle, it's ridiculous. It's like a... it's like it's a prop in a comic play about gunfire. Or it's like it's some kind of like 19th century sniping weapon. There it is. See, look at that. I mean, Shepard's sniper rifle is pretty long and involved, but look at how silly that thing looks with that extended barrel on it. Maybe it's way more realistic than I know. Oh, hey. Are you members of Arlac Company? Okay. Ouch. What do you know about suffering severe trauma on a fall?
Shepard! You in one piece?
At the grand
Looks like
dawn.
okay.
Give it up, give it up,
Radio
give it up.
contact.
On our way!
And the LED, well, no, it's not shy. Yeah. Found out recently a guy from my work was sort of this informational getting to know you thing, and his favorite book. And, you know, it's going to sound like I'm making fun of him, and I'm not, but he put down as his favorite book, the One Piece manga. And it's like cool if you're into manga. And I've never read the One Piece manga, so I don't know how awesome it is compared to the One Piece I do know of, which is the English language dub of the early part of the series, and the fact that those fucking One Piece characters can be found on literally any product for sale in Japan. They will sell it via One Piece characters. This is why you want a weapon where you can actually afford to waste ammo. Because you're going to come across... I think this was part of the Mass Effect 1, too. 1, 2. In Mass Effect 1, you kept coming across shit like this when you were fighting the Thorian creepers. I don't remember it with the Rachni, because the Rachni were in like a... They had basically taken over human structure. But like... Oh, you know what I should be doing is, yeah, I shouldn't be wasting ammo at all.
Grunt, got a body of a scout here. Been dead a few days.
I think it might be Pluto.
If he has his weapon, grab it. You won't need it anymore.
Sorry, pause for a little drink there. The bright yellow-green flesh of this particular Krogan reminded me that I had Diet Mountain Dew. So this is actually fairly useful for destroying webbing, and there's others that you find around the mission. But I think in order to actually use it, you have to like keep picking it up and like dropping it. That makes it kind of irritating, actually.
Is that webbing? Looks like it.
Well, it ain't Whistling Dixie. Yeah, but Incinerate, yeah, I don't think I ever used that off camera, but now that I think about it, and because it's shown as having armor rather than life, that's what made it occur to me that, yeah, that's exactly how you want to take that stuff down. It's way more efficient. And this weapon is indeed a fire-based weapon, which you'd use against the webbing, so it makes sense. Oh, cool. Water.
Make it a little harder, Shepard. Agreed. Everybody be ready.
When you say a little harder, are you talking about your little Turian, you know what? Your extended barrel, if you know what I'm saying? It's getting a little hard? Is that what, sorry. See, it even homes in on it as a target. Now, these weapons can still be useful because, shocking spoilers, we're going to have to fight enemies in this level before it's over.
Movement. Anybody catch that?
Yeah, I did. I had just a mind, like, you know, if I was a different kind of Valpyr, I'd be going, "Oh my god, I've never been this afraid of it. Oh!" I'd be screaming like a fucking idiot, is what I'm saying. If I were one of those scare cam Valpyrs, that's... They gave us reason there.
We need to be cautious. They're dangerous.
Yeah, you don't want to just walk up to these. I forget exactly what they do. You know what? Let's see what they do. You know what? Let's talk about those monster trucks.
Yeah, what is that?
That's what they do. So you don't want to just walk up to them. It takes forever to kill them with Incinerate. Because even though I got the one that has the radius, usually is only going to kill one. Which makes me wonder why I got Incinerate radius boost. So this ends up being useful against these things for sure. Just because otherwise it takes forever to kill them. You could use regular old ammo instead. You know, this looks a bit like those tentacles. If I was playing the first game, I'd say this was the Geth. But there's a lot of stuff in the first game we attributed to the Geth that, whether it was part of the plan all along or not, retroactively, we decided was Reaper tech, including, of course, the those god-awful, yeah.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe? But the husks turned out to be Reaper tech as opposed to the Geth. Oh, okay. You don't need to actually hit a full round of, so we got a half-used one here we can replace this with if we need to. But no, all you need to do is sort of touch them with the flame and the rest of the health will burn off. So I'm going to kind of go through this slowly and carefully, hopefully not boring you guys too much. But yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to make sure we don't miss loots. And this place could have loots. Because it's considered a combat area, Shepard will actually run. Which the motherfucker won't do on the ship, no matter how much I want him to sometimes. Still probably best to use Incinerate on these. And I think I recognize this. And I think we're actually getting ready to fight enemies. No, those are still just pods. But I think this here room, yeah, you see that? That looks a lot like an ammo pickup. And this looks a lot like a drop you can't get back up from. Yep. The hell was that big black diagonal?
We got company.
So let's go, go, go. Move, move, move. Oh, you guys are... Yeah, it is. What the hell? The husk with a barrier? What the... I wasn't expecting to fail that fast. There was some kind of barrier generator. That was a piece of probably Reaper technology.
Grunt, we got company.
So I want to switch to... What the...
Along the far wall, Shepard.
Well, I'm trying to switch weapons here, but...
That Rachni. Good eye.
There we go. What the hell? The husks are a problem. Once you get them out of the way, we can deal with the Reapers well enough. Or Ravagers, I mean. Or, yeah. The Rachni. Got codex info on the Ravagers if we want to check it out. Distinct races, Rachni. Can I find out? Wait, well, where am I supposed to find out about the,
The Reaper, a myth common to Ravagers are
There we
former
go.
Rachni that the Reapers have transformed into heavy artillery through a process of implantation and genetic modification.
Simply fighting one gives you all this information and a narrative to read about it.
Sustain and inflict considerable damage. Ravagers bear egg sacs that continuously spawn swarmers. If the sacs are destroyed either during combat or upon the Ravager's death, their entire contents burst forth to charge the enemy and explode on contact. A dead Ravager expels a caustic gas and an acidic puddle. Alliance scientists have theorized that it is easiest for the Reapers to maintain control over units of Rachni genetic extraction because of the species' neurological predisposition for hive mind consensus.
Yeah, that's great. They can also control humans as husks. Do we have a hive mind? I suppose we do. It's called Facebook. Twitter.
The Ravagers are harvested Turians that command and protect others.
How do they command other troops? They're all just a bunch of weird, gibbering idiots. Anyway. So, these are not just Rachni. These are Reaper-controlled Rachni. And that's why, as I kind of gave away without thinking about the consequences, the Rachni still show up as an enemy, even if you killed the Rachni Queen in the first game, because the Reapers have somehow gotten a hold of their genetic info. You just use a sniper rifle shot on one of those little... I forget what they called them, but those guys that just kind of... the guys that just sort of crawl around the floor at you, that are... Yeah. Indeed.
Grunt. Rachni presence confirmed. Modified and very dangerous.
Finally, something to kill. Nothing here yet. Lost a Krogan to a sinkhole. Bad way to go.
It lacked honor. He will not be remembered by the Klingon Empire. Anyways, yeah, so these are modified. And I didn't remember the Rachni enough to really be that impacted by the fact... Like, I would have thought that they were just regular old Rachni. Although, you know, when I guess in the first game they were kind of one of the few melee enemies, other than Husks. And Husks were not much of a threat in the first game. They really got nasty in 2 and have continued to be pretty nasty. But, yeah, and I remember playing a mission against Rachni. Like, once you actually found the Rachni on Novaria, suddenly there was all these optional missions, so the Rachni start popping up all over the frickin' place. And I remember making fun of that, but I also remember switching the difficulty up to its highest setting to get more experience right around that time, and having some fucking asshole just pop out of nowhere to say, "This game is so easy, even on the highest difficulty level. You totally suck. You can't dominate on the highest difficulty level." Because I actually died. And it's not like I just got, like, totally spanked, but I actually died for the first time in a long time and was told that I suck sore.
Agreed. Let's find out why.
Yeah, no, I thought we knew Reapers had been here before this point, but... I think we know why. They're trying to get frickin' Rachni as weapons. Now, if their goal is to wipe out organic life, and these guys are already pretty much wiped out, I don't know why they're bringing them back to wipe them out, but... they're going to use them against the other species. At this point, we really don't know why the Reapers are doing what they're doing. And if you were hoping to find out...
Locked, Shepard.
Copy that.
I just want to point out for the record that Mass Effect 3 is famous for various things, but probably nothing more than its disappointing ending. Okay. So this is blocked. It's like some kind of super Reaper door. We can go this way. Got some experience for that. Cannot combine the ammo from these two, which sucks. You know what? I kind of want. Can we read about the Firestorm?
The Reaper weapon nicknamed Blackstar, although melee combat
Apparently not. Nope. Not sure why we can't read about this. Maybe there is a way in some other menu. Don't care that much. Ooh, plot just took over. Garrus. I don't know if I'm gonna get separated from my team now.
Our exit is cut off.
Looks like we're finding another way out of here. Come on.
I mean, we already got.
Boy, Shepard. Sounded bad.
Cave in. We're all right.
Good. Didn't want to dig you out.
Shut up.
That hurts my feelings, Grunt.
Yeah.
Got motions. I thought we were getting closer. I heard a bad noise, Shepard, like somebody farted. Not gonna bother to showcase it, but if you try to kill these things with small arms, it doesn't waste a lot more ammo than I'm using with this technique. Probably not necessary to 100% clear them, but does make it less likely that you'll accidentally wander into something nasty. I just took a lot of damage there. I guess I was too close to it when it blew. We certainly haven't fought that many of these guys yet, have we? This webbing led to nothing.
Shepard, I know what happened to the scouts.
What did you find?
They got hit hard. The leader ordered them to carry weapons deep into the caves. He knew the next team would need help.
Oh, cool.
They died making sure we could make it to the central chamber. Come on.
Doesn't really make sense, but okay. I mean, it's a nice thought, but I'm gonna save because I'm not absolutely positive which path to take here, but I have a feeling that that one that we just turned away from is the actual way forward. And this is either dead end or loots. Was that like the equivalent of a pop scare? Because it wasn't that bad. I have to think about it, really. A couple people have posited the notion that I play one of those games that the like retarded gimmick LPers who just like go around acting more scared than any human being could rationally be if they were legitimately in danger. The games that people play for that reaction, like, oh, it's so funny, he is scared. Because I want to see how a reasonably intelligent person react. And, you know, the only reason I've really float the idea is I haven't really ever played those games, and they might be fun. The closest I ever came to just flipping out during a video was when I was just on autopilot wandering around a back road in Fallout New Vegas and suddenly wandered right into a mantis, which is like the weakest enemy in the game. But I was so completely like zoned out, not paying attention, that I was like, ah!
He's asked that it be delivered to an Asari named Erebba on the Citadel.
Aww. Okay, well that's free experience slash war stuff. So it was a good thing we destroyed that piece of webbing. Should have used Incinerate. I just kind of forgot about that. So yeah, it's not always a waste to use this webbing, but how this guy got back here, died, and then got webbed in, apparently. That was weird. And the fire continues to float around up there. That's cool. Okay, that looks like that might be the correct path to go. So maybe I need to go back. There's a new firestorm. Alright, let's go back this way. Oh, wait. Where's more webbing? Because there was this little... Oh, there's some going on in there. It's Reaper Tech. So there's some credits. So I'm glad I noticed that, which I hadn't noticed before. But this is where I thought we had to actually go. And now it's going to turn out that this is just totally redundant path, right? Or not. Okay, never mind. This is the dead end. They kind of sort of made you look for it, so I figured this would be the correct path. But no, it loops around. Okay. So this little piece back here is a dead end. This is actually like a looping path that doesn't go anywhere. That's fine. I mean, no big... You know, in the real world, if you go wandering around in a set of caves, it's not going to be completely linear and go and have one path that goes directly to a boss you're supposed to fight. But I think we're pretty much ready now to move into this next big room, which is probably where we're going to encounter our next round of combat, especially if there's a drop. Yeah, it just auto-saved. Yep.
Expect trouble.
Okay, I thought I was being all slick seeing this coming, but the game basically tells you. This video might be slightly short, but if we're just about to get into a big round of combat, might be a good time to call it. And come back next time with more of Mass Effect 3. I'm Mysterious JG. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you'll join me for more fighting of Reaper-fied Rachni next time. Bye-bye.